Part 1, describing the study. Why is the study being done? This study aims to better understand how best to plan and organise stroke services so that more people may benefit from the treatments that are now available. We feel we can learn a lot from the experience of healthcare staff who work in the field of stroke care. Stroke care is complex and challenging to provide at a consistently high level of quality. By listening to the stories and experiences of staff members, we might better understand the challenges they face at each step of the chain of care. And we may gain insights into how future stroke services might be organised to minimise delay in both the pre-hospital and in-hospital steps of the stroke pathway. Who is organising and funding the study? The study is being organised by a team of doctors and researchers who work at Sligo University Hospital and at the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. The study is funded by a grant from the Health Research Board, or HRB, and it is part of a postgraduate qualification or PhD for a doctor who works in stroke care in Ireland. Why am I being asked to take part? We are asking you to consider taking part because we feel we can learn from your experience of working in the field of stroke care. We believe that understanding your individual experience can help us improve how stroke care is organised for everyone who has a stroke in future. We're inviting a range of professionals with roles in stroke care or acute medicine at a number of hospital sites to participate, as we feel we can learn from everyone, and we hope to speak to about 10 people at the site where you work. How will the study be carried out? The study will involve an interview with the researcher to discuss your experience of providing acute stroke care. Each interview will last about 40 to 60 minutes and can be held in person in a location that suits you, or an online meeting can also be arranged if that's more suitable. You will only be asked to participate once in this study. The interviews will be hosted by the doctoral researcher. The topics to be discussed have been designed to gain an understanding of your experience of different parts of the stroke care chain or stroke pathway, so from pre-hospital alert to the emergency department, to brain imaging, acute intervention, and finally to admission to a stroke unit. It's planned that the study will take place in 2023 and that your interview will be at a time that suits you. Should you wish to participate at work, this can be accommodated at a time that suits your rota or service obligations, and should you prefer to participate out of work hours, that can also be accommodated. Your contributions will be the cornerstone of the study, and so your preferences will be prioritised. We hope that some of your work colleagues may also participate, but your participation or the content of your interview will not be disclosed or discussed with them, or vice versa. The confidentiality of your contribution is assured. What will happen to me if I agree to take part? You will be asked to sign a consent form and reminded of the importance of confidentiality in all discussions. The interview will be hosted by the researcher and the questions will be open in nature. There is no right or wrong answer. We're interested in your observations, opinions and suggestions, and the goal is to learn from your experiences. The interview will be recorded using a voice recorder for in-person discussions and in video and voice recorder for online interviews, and this allows a transcript or written record of the discussion to be downloaded or typed so that the researcher can then later analyse the discussions for patterns in the conversations. Your individual identity will not be identifiable in the final typed transcripts. The same topics will be addressed with all interview participants using an interview guide that has been developed specifically for this study. If you are new to your role and feel you might not have a lot to contribute, don't worry, it's still worth joining the conversation, as we feel we can learn from everyone. Do I have to take part and can I withdraw? You do not have to take part in this study, it's entirely voluntary. If you decide not to take part, it won't affect your role in any way. You can change your mind about taking part in the study and opt out at any time, even if the study has already started. If you decide to opt out, it won't affect your role in any way, and you don't have to give a reason for not taking part or for opting out. What happens if I change my mind? You can change your mind at any time by contacting the researcher. The details are on the last page of this leaflet. If you wish, you can ask for any of your stored data to be destroyed. Only if we are just about to publish a paper containing your data when you decide to withdraw would removal of data related to your contribution not be possible. Are there any benefits to taking part in this research? Taking part in this study may not directly benefit you. However, research that includes your information may better help us to understand how best to organise and plan efficient acute stroke care services. This study hopes to impact health service policy and resourcing in future, so the benefits of the research may not be seen for several years. However, by participating, you are helping to advance our understanding of stroke care pathways and processes in Ireland and to improve them in future. Are there any risks to me or others if I take part? Research involving interviews are low risk in their design. However, discussions involving topics related to health care and health services can be emotive. It's possible that you may have experienced difficult events during the course of your work, which could evoke difficult memories. And if you experience any distress during or after the interview, you can speak about this to the researcher. You can stop for a break temporarily, or you can withdraw from the study altogether, and your distress will be acknowledged and supported. So if during or after the interview you indicate or express upset or distress as a consequence of participation in the interview, it'll be important for the researcher to alert your line manager about this distress so that you can be properly supported. There are free, independent, confidential counselling supports available to all HSE staff through the HSE Employee Assistance Programme, or EAP. And the telephone number for more information is 0818 327 327, and the website is www.healthservice.hse.ie, and that comes under the Employee Assistance Programme. Also, you may wish to reach out to a staff liaison officer at your site, and the details of whom can be provided by the researcher. The contact details of the researcher are on this participant information leaflet and will be available to you for the duration of the study should you require any additional information. There is a risk that a connection to your identity could be made by virtue of the fact that the number of people who work in stroke in your hospital or in Ireland is generally low, but great care will be taken to ensure confidentiality of all data, and the risk to participants of a breach of confidentiality is considered low. What happens if something goes wrong when I'm taking part in the study? It's very unlikely that anything will go wrong as a result of participating in this study, as it involves a format of voluntary and open conversation. The researcher will contact you the day after the interview to check on your well-being and answer any questions you might have.